from 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 and 25. Do you not know that in a race all runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable.
You know, you think about this morning already and what went on. I mean, the song service. Paul. The songs that were just, it made you feel better. It made you feel better. I mean, it makes you feel better. You heard Charlie and his love for God, and just telling God, thank you. Did that not make you feel better? I mean, it makes you feel better. You hear Chuck telling God, thank you for dying for me. Now let me die for you. Don't that make you feel better? It makes you feel better. Did you hear these young men over here? Know you not that they which run a race run all, but one receive the prize, or you run that you can win that race. Now Preston read to us. I mean, doesn't that make you feel better that you can try to do something to better yourself? But it's not only bettering yourself, it betters other people around you. It makes you feel better. Who in here does not like to have a compliment when someone comes up to you and say, hey, you look great today, or hey, thank you for your kind words, or hey, it was good seeing you at the ball game. Makes you feel better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the church here at George Street, for the church to grow in the goals and the vision that you have, that we have, that God has for any church, wherever it is, on this 15th day of September 2024. He's looking at it and saying, what are you going to tell the people today to make the world better? And that's what we're going to talk about today. You know, every one of you, some of you Wednesday that you were here for Bible class, but a lot of you today, what happened to your nose? There was only one person that contacted me, and I looked, and I got up in your face, okay? I did that on purpose, because I knew they were going to say something about my nose, okay? One person didn't say something. He said something else. I mean, he saw my nose, but then he responded really good. He said, I like your shirt. I was watching him, and I listened to him, and I thought, you see, that's great. That was great. That's what I was looking for. I know what my nose looks like. You don't have to tell me what my nose looks like, okay? I got it. It's okay. But Tim said, I like that shirt you're wearing. Now, he was looking at my nose, but he was saying about his shirt, okay? I got to hold this carefully. Eric, I'm just coming to you because of your young eyes. What does that say, Eric? Jamie. Thank you. That doesn't mean, no wonder he's a broadcaster, okay? I mean, no wonder he speaks. I mean, come on now. Wow. Now, this, my friends, is broken. Do you see that? This is probably the most precious thing I have. I mean, in this world of mine. But when I was moving last week, a lot of you know, I moved. Did you know I bought a house when I moved? That's my new address. In fact, it's right down my bills. Is where Andrew's living right now. We're neighbors, Bill. Really, your house? Yeah. And Linda Wilson told me about this house. A lot of you told me, Samantha told me about a lot of you told me. A lot of you told me about a lot of houses. I looked at every one you told me. A lot of them they sold, a lot of them, but wasn't just, it didn't work out. But this is where I'm at right now, which is right over across the river. Well, last week when I was getting my river house, I was pulling some stuff off the top of the shelf. A whole bunch of pictures fell on me. You want to know what happened to my nose? That picture right there came down and hit me. I was up on a step stool and I fell backwards, literally fell backwards. One fell, then another one. That was the one that started, okay? Bam! And it cracked when it hit my nose. All right? I'm not going to embellish, but I thought my nose cracked too, right? So I'm laying there on the floor. Blood is going everywhere. I heal up quick. I mean, this is just a week time. I mean, God is already healing me. It's unbelievable what He does, right? But I looked at it and I thought, what picture hit me? Well, I knew what I was going to do with that picture. That river's right there. I was going to take that bait and throw it. And when I looked at it, I thought, oh God, you humble me. It's pretty good, and your wife can get the last touches. Uncle Marty, what's up? But no, that's what I thought. I thought, oh my goodness. He likes it. He likes it. That's another story. Sophie walks in and she said, "You're a nice wrestler." That's lady I like, okay? That's above what we want. You see, that's life, you guys. This is what be surreal with people. And I thought, wow, God, you're speaking to me. And I prayed long and hard about where I was going to be going. I don't know where, God takes you in different directions, and it's always in God's hands. But the thing about it is, I want you to know this. Don't miss heaven. Don't miss heaven. And if you will not miss heaven, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on the same team. You got to be on, we must be on, it has to be the same team. Would you agree to that? We have to be on the same team. Everybody here at George Street, you must be on that same team, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be able to say on this 15th day, you know what, I'm a part of George Street Church of Christ, and I'm proud of it. Now, can I ask you personally, are you proud to be a part of George Street Church of Christ? Are you really proud about it? Really? That's what you need to be. Because when you let that little light shine, folks, and people see you, everybody has different positions, different jobs, different places. Where you live, different places. You do different things. God has given you different talents. But our life, the brevity of our life is going before us. So we got to use it today to make an impact on this world. You say, but Danny, today, the world is so much degradation. There's so much going on. Yes, we know there is, isn't there? Hey, y'all, we got to go down to that wonderful football facility the other day on Friday night. And it was great. I just enjoyed being there. Just, wow. It brings back so much memories that, in my paradigm, of things I used to do so much of. And before you say what happened to the football team, a lot of you might not realize that I got to go in and give a little speech to that football team. That's what happened to the football team, okay? Probably scared them half to death. And I thought I was being mollified. You wait till next time. I'll really get excited. Seriously, there was a couple of, Nick, he got hurt, but he's doing better. He's doing a lot better, and I thank God for that. People, they get hurt, you get hurt. But folks, seriously, we got to be on the same team. Let's talk about that a little bit, and you'll be out of here today, okay? Would you turn to 1 Thessalonians, please, with me? Now, Paul was talking to a church at Thessalonica. He's there. He's going to tell them, this is what you got to do. If you're going to be a successful church, You got to do this. This is what Paul is writing in this epistle, in this letter. This is what he's saying. He's looking eye to eye with you, and he's saying, if you want this church to grow, if you want this church to be successful, if you want to add people to this church, you got to do this. Now, with that said, if you don't do it, you're not going to get none of them above. All right? So, better say it, better read it. We know it verbatim, but let's just turn there. So I'm going to turn to 1 Thessalonians. And in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, Paul has this to say. Are you there? Please turn there and read along with me. So I'm going to read verse 1 through 11. But at the times, now watch this, at the times, boy, we're in some perilous times, aren't we? In the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so come as a thief in the night. Do we still think about things like that? Well, God can come today. Are you going to think today that maybe this will be today? Chuck got up and said in the morning. It could have been this morning that he came. Every day I open my eyes, I thank God this day. For when they shall say, peace and safety, and sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, now listen, he's saying, church, here at Thessalonica, you people are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. No, you're aware of this. I tell you, I'm coming, so be ready that I'm going to come. You are all children of light. He didn't say you're children of darkness, did he? He said you're children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night. We're not nocturnal. I mean, I'm not talking about working at night, nor in darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Are we ready for that day? Are we thinking about that day? Are we wondering about that day? Do we want that day? For they that sleep, sleep in the night. And they that be drunken are drunk in the night. But let us, now listen to the church, but let us, the church of Thessalonica, let the people of God who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of the faith and of the love, and for a helmet and the hope of salvation. For God hath not appointed us to anger, to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ. Why are you living for? Because God wants you to have, well, it was already spoken about today already, salvation. Who died for us? Now watch us. But whether we were awake or asleep, we should live together with Him. The plot of what I'm wanting you to get here, now watch this. I want to know, are you living together with Him? Are we in it together? To be emphatic about this, we have to be in it together. No church will be successful if you leave people out of the crowd. If you don't invite the sinner to come hear God. Who invited you to come hear God? What are you living for? Do you think you're living forever? Chances today you're not going to live as long as you thought you were going to live in. The way the world's going. We need to be of the light. So now he says in verse 11, a verse that we all should memorize. I did when I was 18 years old. But listen what he says. Watch it. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also you do. Do you tell your children every day, even when you don't feel like you love them, but you're going to tell them I love you? This you did something great. You ever have someone wreck your car? Wreck your truck? Great, has anybody ever wrecked your boat? I have. All three and above. What? My insurance is going to go up because of you. That's not how you should respond. You see, you reacted when you did that. When you invite somebody to church and they say, no, don't get upset. At least you had the audacity, the courage to invite them to church. comfort one another with these words. This happened a couple of years ago when Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz returned to the field after healing from a severe injury. Think about this, Nick. The NFL team's backup quarterback, Nick Foles, graciously, he said, "Okay, buddy, I'm so glad you're back." And he walked, he said, "I'm okay." And he returned to the bench because he was the backup quarterback. And the starter was coming back after he got hurt, and he said, "No problem. I'll just go over and make myself comfortable." Although competing for the same position, the two men chose to support each other and remain confident in their roles. You wonder what kind of a shadow that cast for the rest of the team, ladies and gentlemen. They weren't bickering against one another. They weren't fighting against one another. They weren't meshing words against one another. They weren't belaboring one another. They were together as a team. One reporter observed that the two athletes had a unique relationship rooted in their faith in Jesus Christ, shown through their ongoing prayers for each other. They would pray for one another. Do you know that prayer is powerful? Do you know when you have things go wrong, that's what you should be doing? You should be praying, stop everything else, and just stop, drop, and pray. That's what these two men do. And these men are, as you know, millionaires upon millionaires upon millionaires. But they took time out to pray for one another. Amazing. Amazing. As others watched, they brought honor to God by remembering they were on the same team. You see, in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1 through 11, it talks about being on the same team. Are you on the same team? That's what I'm posing to you. Do you feel the same team? Do you feel like I go when I go to George Street? You know when you prepare that Lord's Supper? Are you on the same team? Oh God, I hope you do. The question is, who do you and me represent? Who do I represent really? All the places I've got to go in my little corner of my life. I never thought it would have been 100 years that a picture that I loved so much that I was going to throw in the river because I was looking at the blood on it that I wiped off. And you can see the stain on the back of it where the blood went right down through it. You know? I was going to take it, I'm throwing this in the river. I don't need this. And that's what I'm going to do. And then when I turned it around, how hungry I was. You see, sometimes we spread out with the tongue, with our mouth, like it was alluded to, and then we recap and think, wow, I really blew it. Am I the only one in here that feels like that? What happens when you blow it? Paul said to a church, Paul knew he was going to die, but he left them with these words, be on the same team. I'm not going to die, friends. He knows it. I'm going to live forever. Because Jesus died for me. Wow, children of light. That's what he said. He called you children of light in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5 and 6. You're children of light. Are you children of light? Who are we going to invite to church tonight? Are we even going to be here tonight? We don't have to come tonight. We don't have to come on Wednesday. We don't have to come at all. But I'll tell you what, if you're children of light and you want to be on the same team, ladies and gentlemen, this is not for me. I'm not saying this to boost my morale. Because I know the repercussions you get. You try to tell people what they need to do. Now, I've seen it. I've walked through it. I've been there. I can say that. I have done it. Paul said before he died, you've got to be on the same team. With our hope secure in salvation, Christ has, provided that we can shrug off any temptations that compete out things like jealousy. Why do you worry about being jealous? That's my wife doing, what my husband doing. You won't have to worry about that. Although there's a lot of things that does go on that you would be surprised that goes on right inside the church. God says, you don't have to worry about that stuff. I'll take care of it. No, you don't have to be worried about insecurity. I'll take care of insecurity. I'll give you fear or envy. I will help you walk through it. Who else can help you walk through these things? Who can help you walk through these things? You're the children of light. But he did say this. He said, you encourage one another. And you know what he said? You build each other up. How do you do that? How do you build each other up? Jeanette fell and she hurt her hand. You know what? If you look at her hand, it's black and blue and whatnot. But she's here this morning. And I asked her, you know, obviously, she said, well, what happened to you? And I was like, that's okay. No, she said, I thought about your back. And you said you broke your back. Yeah, I broke my back. And yes, I was in the cast for a year. And I ripped my hand apart, I ripped my leg apart, and I could go on and on. Woe is me! No, that very first night in Orlando, Florida, at 2 a.m., I was up, and I was pulling the whole half of the room with me. Because I said, nothing's going to keep me down. He said, no, but the nurse came in. Imagine this. The nurse came in. Dixon Peter and get to bed! You can't be up! I mean, you can't. Your back, your bones have been grafted. It's like, no, I gotta move. I'm not being wrote off. I gotta move. How do you walk with a broken back? How did I get out of bed with a broken back? How do you get off the bed when you're in a straitjacket? And I get you strapped to the bed. Because when you have a will, you have a way. How bad do you want to go to heaven? We're on the same team. Children, tell them you love them. When they mess up, they need to hear it more then than when they don't need to hear it. That's your boy. The prodigal, the whole story about that, that's your boy. Never give up on your boy. We give up on our children. These people they knew making millions of dollars, you know what? Hey, you got hurt. I came in, I'm trying to be the first string quarterback, but it wasn't meant to be. I'll go back to backup. We don't know the paradigms of other people's lives, but Jesus Christ does. Friends, we can respect spiritual leaders who honor God and live in peace as we serve together to accomplish our shared goal. What's the goal here at George Street? I know last year I had several goals for this congregation. Now I felt like I had so much. People, I'm a goal-oriented person. Telling people about the gospel and encouraging others to live for Jesus Christ. That's what 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 or in verse 12 and 13 talks about, that we share what we know. You can't share what you don't know, although a lot of people like to tell stories. As we serve on the same team, we can heed Paul's command. Rejoice always. Think about this in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, 16 through 18. Rejoice always. Pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Is that how we face life? Who has encouraged you as you are a member of this church right here? Who is it? Who does encourage you? Is it your wife? Is it the husband? Is it your children? Is it the preacher? Is it the brethren? Who is it? How can you encourage someone who serves alongside of you? That's an easy one, Danny. Show them love. More than anything else right now, this world needs the love of God. More than anything else. And then someday you'll know. You talk to all these people. You try to, you bend over backwards to make people happy, to be there for them. They're not going to be there forever. So God says, you do what you can now, today. Today. What are you going to do today, ladies and gentlemen? You see, Lou Holtz would put it like this, and I know you know this acronym, anybody would know this acronym, TEAM. What does the acronym for TEAM really mean? You look at it and you think, wow, that makes sense. Together, everyone achieves more. That's what a team is. And that's why he was a great motivational speaker. And I've got to stand in front of more people than you would ever imagine. And I don't say that because I say it because I've done it. But the thing is, it's not about me. It's why would you even go do it? You're trying to edify them. It's about you, not about me. Because, especially at church, it's about God, isn't it? We're all in it for God. So on this day, on this 15th day, I hope if you're cleaning out your closet, I hope a picture don't fall on you. I know one thing, I'm not throwing this in the river. You know why? Because I don't know about the river no more. I'm going to throw it in the river anyway, okay? If I threw it in the river, I would jump in after it. Here's what these two great people said. All or nothing. I don't care if you're a freshman team or you're four seniors. It doesn't matter what grade you're in this world. What matters is you're on the same team. God bless you all. Happy, happy, happy. He's on the team. So if you look at it, it's like, four little ones would come in and they would sit on the front pew. Because Mr. Dad would say, come on, you're going to sit right up here and give Mommy a break. So here's four, and then there's another four. And it's like, they're all, you know. But anyway, it's like your entertainment for us, okay? Whatever you do, you point, they point. Watch Lucas. You raise your hand, Lucas, raise your hand. All children are wanting is what? What does children want? What do they want? Attention. Now what do you want? People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. Team. If you're here today and you have not been baptized in Jesus Christ, you're making a horrific mistake by walking out these doors. Any of these men would be, any of us would be willing to baptize anyone, anywhere, any day. And we know we take it seriously. We're not talking about this being flippantly. You're concerned about my sin. I want to be a better person. Or maybe you've been baptized, but maybe you're not being on the same team. Why wouldn't you come home today? Be back on the same team. Does it make sense? Are you following me? Am I lost? Could be. But God knows where you're going to be, where you're going to go, and what you're going to be doing. No one else does. If you're subject, please come home and be on the same team.